Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A lot of people constantly ask me, "Hey man, I wanna be just like you. You're so fucking cool, man." I get that a lot. So, what's my secret? This is my secret. It's
Galacticus X, secret super vitality, potent potable drinking formula.
It contains a mixture of over 123 distilled essences of natural herbs such as aloe vera, jojoba oil, bull semen, and drops of sweat from Michael Jordan's armpits, meticulously collected after the final game of the 1992-93 NBA Championship Series, in which the Chicago Bulls beat the Phoenix Suns to become the first team since the legendary Boston Celtics of the 1960s to win 3 consecutive championship titles, clinching the three-peat with John Paxson's game-winning three-pointer that gave them a 99-98 victory in Game 6. But the most important ingredient of
Galacticus X, secret super vitality potent potable drinking formula
is what the people crave the most. You see, it's got electrolytes. Hello everyone, this is Galacticus X coming back to you with another video, this time with some first impressions of the Pimax 4K virtual reality headset. Now, the device itself is of typical industrial quality and has minimal external features, just an on-off switch and volume buttons on top. The lenses are protected by a flimsy plastic cover when you don't use the headset, and there are no physical focal adjustment controls. On the sides, there are 2 mini jack audio outputs for the included headphones that have good audio quality, although I prefer using my own headphones. For me, the device is perfect. It has spare room for my glasses, and the lenses do not fog from respiration and body heat. Now, I've had this device for about 2 weeks now. It's a budget VR headset that cost me 320 euros. It's manufactured in China and distributed in Europe from an eBay reseller who maintains a stock warehouse in Germany. The software, which you download from Pimax VR website, is called PiPlay, and it's updated constantly, and now supports Steam VR, which means that the VR-enabled games in your Steam library are automatically detected and imported, although you have the option to import the executables manually. In any case, it's not really necessary to launch the application because you can run your game straight from Steam. What is important though is the included adjustments you can make to improve the visual fidelity and to calibrate the device. Admittedly, the software can be a little fiddly, especially when it fails to download updates and new content. Now, the intended use of Pimax 4Ks with seated or stand-in VR experiences like the Oculus Rift, which is exactly how you set it up in Steam VR. Of course, we're talking here about a budget solution which doesn't come with a gamepad, other controllers, or a camera. And the lack of camera means that you can't really have all degrees of motion and freedom of movement. You can't lean forwards or backwards in the game, which is something that can be fixed with the help of an external camera, third-party open source support for infrared cameras like the Kinect, or more comprehensive solutions like the Nolo VR, which are admittedly more expensive. Now, let's address the important visual aspects of the device. The Pimax 4K VR isn't truly 4K, as its name suggests. It rather splits an internal 4K display to each eye, resulting in an effective resolution of 2K 1920 by 2160 pixels instead of the full 3840 by 2160, which is actual 4K. Again, this is better than the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive, which have a resolution of 2160 by 1200. But if you have a less powerful video card, such as an NVIDIA GTX 960 or 970, you must lower the resolution to 1920 by 1080 from within the PiPlay application. The most important thing about the Pimax 4K is its great resolution, even at 1080p, and the lack of the notorious screen door effect that plagues the other VR devices. Here the image is clear, and you can make out even small details and lettering in the HUD and the interface of the game. And the games really come to life with crisp pictures and really vibrant colors. The field of view is around 100 degrees, same as the other devices, and I have to say the experience is unbelievable in Elite Dangerous, the game that I'm going to spend most of my time with. For me, Elite Dangerous is a killer application for VR gaming. It's as if Pimax 4K was a match in heaven for Elite, and I can't stress enough how much more immersive the game is without the annoying screen door effect, which was really the reason I didn't go for a much cheaper Oculus DK2, which I planned to buy from eBay for around 150 to 160 euros second hand. Now on my system, it's a 4-year-old system equipped, 3-year-old system rather. It's equipped with a GTX 970 with a core, an Intel Core i7 4770K. I can play at 1080p with high and even ultra details at fluid frame rates locked at 60 FPS for most of the time. And at least for the games that I personally care about the most, Elite Dangerous and Assetto Corsa, this is a major advantage compared to Sony PlayStation VR, which requires separate VR versions of existing games, which are all severely handicapped. They are visually degraded. On the PC, you can enjoy all your supported VR games in ultra quality adjusted to the resolution your PC can handle, but you don't cut back on the detail. Now, if I wanted to criticize the image quality, there are two things that stand negatively out for me. One issue is the appearance of some thin vertical banding, which is pronounced in bright images, and the other is the relatively reduced dynamic range, which means that the image can have a bit too much contrast and a bit less detail in very dark or very bright areas. I have to say though, these two small issues can pass unnoticed when you are in the game. Now, some other reviewers that I watched in YouTube, they mentioned the problem with the appearance of ghosting and relatively slow response time of the internal image. Personally, I didn't notice that thing very much. When you're in the game and you look around, you don't really notice that thing. And personally, I don't suffer from any motion sickness. Now, for me, the only thing that I wanted from the Pimax 4Ks was affordable price, acceptable build quality, and good compatibility with Elite Dangerous, and some racing simulations. And for that purpose, Pimax 4K is perfect. With the additional advantage that in the future I can upgrade my graphics card and I can crank up the resolution for even better results. And also I can expand the capabilities and the functionality of the system by adding additional cameras and controllers. Okay people, that's all for now. Until next time, stay safe and keep out of harm's way.
Stay on it, Commander. There's not a lot of fight left in it.
Target destroyed.
I'm impressed, Commander. Just remember, it pays to know your enemy. Not all targets will crumble so easily, so I suggest you choose your fights wisely.